Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm feeling much better than from the first video I had made talking about the Japanese tips. So I've come on today to do the tips, my tools on how to study Korean. So if you want to see what I have been using to study Korean, and you need some advice and all of that good stuff, then keep watching. First off, I want to say that I know my outfit in this video looks very similar to my outfit in my last video, and there's actually a reason for that. Everything I was wearing in the last video was from Japan, and everything I'm wearing in this video is from Korea. So I thought, why not? I wanted to show you guys my hat, okay? I don't know if y'all can see it, but it just says King Empress. Hey now, that's me. And up here it says King. And I got this in Korea, and it's one of my most favorite hats from Korea. And my glasses are from Korea. And my hoodie is actually my school, YU. Hey now, Youngnam University. And I know you're like, it's summertime, why are you wearing a hoodie? But like, it's cold in my house. Okay, so enough rambling. Let's get started. So the tips and tools in this video are not going to be as much as the Japanese video because I have not been studying Korean as long as I have been studying Japanese. So number one, the first thing I did was I used a textbook. This was the very first textbook I ever used when I was studying Korean. This is Active Korean. This is number one. The publisher is Seoul National University, and I actually got this book when I was in New York last year when I was doing that internship with the Japanese consulate. Yeah, I got this in Koreatown in the Korean bookstore, but I've seen it on Amazon. So I used Active Korean. There is a series. I think there's up to 4 or 5. So this is what I used at first to study Korean. Super duper helpful, and it also comes with CD-ROM for you to listen to, as most good textbooks. My advice from when you're self-studying and you're getting a textbook, try to find textbook with CD-ROMs. They usually help out a lot more. So yes, I use Active Korean, and at first I used that for my own personal benefits, but when I went to Korea and I took a language class, they were also using Active Korean. So Active Korean is a really good series of books to use. So I used Active Korean. Now, Active Korean does not come with a workbook like the Japanese Genki book. Active Korean, I usually just wrote inside the book. But, however, I have this book here. Oh, I've also been learning Chinese. So I have this book here that I just made it for myself to help me alongside my Active Korean. And I just got this book in Korea. It's just any like journal. This is Morning Glory. And I like the one with tabs so I can separate it by... What is the blue tab? Pink tab is vocabulary, and orange tab is expression and phrases, and I made my tab, the next tab is grammar points. So I just bought a book with tabs that I can use to help me go alongside the textbook, since the textbook didn't have a workbook. Yeah, so writing stuff down also really helps you, and I just have a nice little notebook to go alongside my textbook. And whenever I learn something new, I usually write it in my notebook. The number 3 tip and tool that I used was, since I was already studying a previous language, Japanese, I was translating Japanese to Korean. As you can see, this is totally super duper messy, but yeah, I was translating Japanese to Korean, and that was also helping me. So if you're somebody who already was learning one of the Asian languages, if you're already learning Chinese, or if you're already learning Japanese or Korean and you want to learn one of the other ones, it's really helpful because they're really similar if you sometimes want to translate stuff over. So that's a tip that I was using. That's a tool that I was using. I was translating Japanese to Korean, which was also helping me to understand better as well. Now, I did get this in Korea, but you can also get, like, if you go to any Korean market, or if you just print off anything online that's Korean. I personally was using this book here. This is the food book, the dormitory food book that I took from Korea, where you can order all the delicious, super duper delicious, super duper freaking delicious, cheap Korean food. Yeah, so I was using this book, and this is actually really helpful. This actually really helped me to learn Korean. Yeah, ordering food was another helpful way for me to learn Korean. I was always reading the book, and then if I didn't know the word, I was looking it up, and food is a good way to learn something, honestly. So if I learned a new word, for example, yangnam. Yangnam. You see this word a lot in Korea. It is like a seasoning or a flavor. Yangnam kalbijim. That's the name of this dish right here. And so once I saw this several times, I knew that this was a type of seasoning and whatnot. And then, you know, you could also learn the word for like large, medium, small, and how to order food and things of that nature. So picking up a magazine or a newspaper or a food book like me and kind of studying it, something that also has pictures alongside of it too, is also really helpful when you're learning Korean. It really helped me. Because of the food book, I know how to order food very well, and I learned more about Korean food through the food book. So, and it was super duper helpful in allowing me to memorize Korean, as well as practicing my ordering tips if you live in Korea or you plan on going to Korea. You know, allow me to speak and allow me to get familiar with the food also. All right, now we can't forget the most important thing when learning a language is a language dictionary. This is a basic Korean dictionary. This is Korean to English and English to Korean. And I also got this at a Korean bookstore. Yeah, you just need a dictionary when you're learning a language. I think this is pretty self-explanatory. By the way, how many times have I said super duper in this video already? I feel like I've said it a lot. Sorry about that. Okay, so this is pretty recent for me, so I can't really give you a well thought out opinion on this, but I purchased 2 new books. This is a workbook and this is a textbook, and I purchased these in Korea and they are the English versions, and it is by the publisher is Moonjin Media, and the name of it is Seoul 한국에. So I think it means it's by Seoul University. Oh, yep. So that means the University of Seoul and 한국에, and so like the Korean language. So this is another book from the university. This is Seoul National University, yes. And I wanted to try something other than the active Korean, and I wanted to buy some books while I was in Korea to help me study more. So I purchased this book recently. I will just go ahead and give you a little brief of how it is. It's similar to active Korean when I looked at the contents and the way the chapters are broken down. However, there is a little bit more in here than active Korean. And I just bought, in active Korean I have level 1, and in these books I have level 2. So this is the textbook and this is the workbook that goes along with it. Which is another reason why I wanted to get this, is because active Korean doesn't have a workbook, and I personally work well with workbooks and working alongside the chapter, so I see how it works and things of that nature. So if you want to get a textbook and you're not sure where to look, my number 1 piece of advice is to get it from a school that's accredited. So either Korea University or Seoul National University, or maybe even Yonsei University, one of the like top accredited schools, I'm pretty sure, that have great Korean language programs will have great textbooks. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so another tip I use, that I'm pretty sure a lot of you use when you're studying languages, is actually I had a tutor. I had a tutor and I had a teacher. So if you can if you can take a class, then go for it. But if you can't take a class, if you're in an area where Korean is not offered, then I'm pretty sure there are, like, if you Google, you can find some tutors around. Yeah, I had a personal tutor. I had a Korean friend tutoring me, which is pretty helpful because there are some things that people can explain that are more commonly used that are not in the textbooks. And then at the same time, the reason why it's good to have textbooks and not just go solely based off of people is because textbooks explain to you why we use this, how we use this. Most of the time, native speakers cannot fully break down to you unless they have a degree or a license in teaching. They can't break it down to you as to why this should be the way it is. They can just tell you because it sounds natural or because we just do it this way. And we do the same thing. If you're a native speaker or something, if somebody asks you to explain, why do you say this? Because I've been saying it like this for all my life. I don't know why I've been saying it like this. So it's good to have a balance between books and balance between communication. So communication, if you can, by getting a tutor or taking a class, go for it. Another thing I want to tell you about is a website that actually one of my friends told me about. And actually my friend, I don't know if he's going to watch this or not, but my friend is Korean, but he didn't grow up in Korea. So he learned Korean through what he hears around him, but he never learned, like I just told you, why he has to use it or like real grammar rules or anything like that. So He was telling me about this website, and ever since he told me, I also started using it. Not all my viewers are from America, so there's a university called Berkeley University. And Berkeley University has a very large Korean language department. And on there, they actually have online Korean lessons for, I want to say it's meant for their students, but there is no like password and code requirement to use it. So we have been using it to study Korean, and it's been really helpful. But yeah, it's just from Berkeley website, and I use it when I'm on my computer and I want to just practice some Korean. The website's been super helpful with that, so I'll post that link down below for you. Another thing I did, which was probably the super duper most helpful, is that, and this is two things in one, I watch a lot of Korean stuff. I watch a lot of Korean movies, I watch a lot of Korean dramas, I watch a lot of Korean shows, I watch Korean news, I watch a lot of Korean everything. And because of that, I have been able to pick up stuff pretty fast. And when I hear something that I'm not sure about, or something that's new to me, this is what I've been doing, because I always have my phone on me. Wait a minute, we got a glare going. Or everything I hear, and I write it in Korean, and then I look the word up, and I have it. So, yeah. And I also did this when I was in Korea. Actually, this really started when I was in Korea, because I was hearing conversation around me. Whenever I heard something, I just wrote it down, and it turned into a super duper, there goes more super dupers. It turned into a really long list. Yeah, I just make a list of whenever I hear something. If you're watching Korean movies, which I know a lot of you are, if you're watching the dramas, which I know a lot of you are, if you're watching the shows or whatever, then every time you hear something, just write it down and look it up later. Or push pause and then look it up, because you might forget. Probably the biggest thing that has helped me to learn Korean is Korean songs. I have used Korean songs as a tool for learning Korean forever. I have been listening to Korean music forever. Okay? And I know it's just now getting popular, but I have been listening to Korean music since like 2006 or 7. Seriously, since Big Bang, I have been listening to Korean music since I can't remember the first Korean song I ever heard. No, I know what it is. The first Korean song I ever heard was Big Bang, We Belong Together. And it's really helped me to learn Korean well, and I love Korean music. I'm not even gonna front, and half the time I be putting Korean music in my music videos. So yeah, listening to Korean music has been a great tip. No, has been a great tool in helping me learn Korean. Listening to the music, that's there. And probably one of the last things I have to tell you about learning and studying Korean is that you just have to not be afraid to make mistakes. I speak to anybody who I think is studying Korean. If I know you're studying Korean, I'm always trying to speak to somebody who else is learning. I'm always talking to my Korean friends in Korean. I'm always doing whatever I can to practice my Korean. I have gotten so much further in language learning by trying and failing than not trying at all. Seriously. So just get out there. Go. Don't be afraid to go to the grocery stores and try to read and learn. Go to the restaurants, try to order in Korean. Don't be afraid to, I don't know, find friends, and be afraid to like search for pen pals. I know there's Japanese pen pals. I'm pretty sure there are Korean pen pals, because just the same way you want to learn Korean, there are Korean speakers who want to learn English. So you can make a trade-off, and there's just plenty of ways to learn. And I hope this has helped you. One last thing I want to say before I go is that there are several YouTube channels that teach Korean. I personally, I watch some, but ones I watch the most are Talk to Me in Korean. I love their channel, and if you're looking for Korean tips, they're always there. And I use Eat Your Kimchi. Talk to Me in Korean and Eat Your Kimchi. Those are probably the two I've been using for a long time when I have any Korean tips. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you got something from it. I know it's not as much as the Japanese tools, but then again, I haven't been learning Korean as much as I've been learning Japanese. That's pretty much it. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, go ahead and leave them down below. Don't forget to subscribe to my main channel, which is Miss Burhane. If you want to have some tips on how to learn Japanese, go ahead and check that video out. I'll post that link down below. And thumbs up if you like the video, and share it. Sharing is caring. Okay guys, thanks so much for watching and I will see you in the next one. 네, 고맙습니다. 안녕히 계세요.